Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? Got another movie review, actually two, and these are films that are just premiered on Netflix. One's been out for a while, and one is brand new. And I want to start with that one first, and also talk about the history of both movies. Because with the original of both these movies, the history is a little similar, a little bit. And the movies I'll be reviewing today is Tremors 5, Bloodline, brand new, 2015, just premiered on Netflix. I don't know the exact date, but it's on Netflix now. And Curse of Chucky, which came out, I believe, 2 years ago. I remember Tony Talent reviewed it. And they're both direct to DVD. And like I said, I think Curse of Chucky premiered October 1st. So let's get to Tremors 5. Now, let me first start out with the history of the movie. Whenever the original Tremors came out, it was right to the theater. And I was in the army in Germany at the time. And Tremors came out. It played in the theater for 2 or 3 days. Because, like, the weird thing about being in Germany, there's not a lot of advertising for the movies. A lot of times they just come out. You might not know a whole lot about them. Except for a handful of movies that they talk about in Entertainment Tonight. And Tremors was one of them. I knew it was a monster movie. I wanted to see it, but I had to work that night. The first 2 or 3 nights it was on. So, like I said, I only played a couple of days. So I wasn't able to see it. And I finally, whenever I got home from Germany, my dad moved from that house in Cranesville in the country to the trailer park we live in now back in May of 1990. And I got out of the army towards the end of, right in the middle of July, I think, of 2000. No, of 1990. What am I saying? And I believe I saw Tremors on HBO. And it was cool because we finally had HBO because in the country, I was told, my dad always said that cable did not want to go out that far. So we just had rabbit ears for a long time growing up in the 80s. And we saw a lot of Canadian TV. We were able to get that. But now we had cable. I think I saw Tremors on either HBO or Cinemax. And a great movie. And then all of a sudden, like, I figured that'd be it. It was a cult classic, Tremors, with Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward and Reba McEntire was in it, I think, and Michael Gross. And Michael Gross has been in all 5 of the Tremors movies. He's the one cast member that's been in all of them. And I thought that was it. Then 1996. Tremors 2 came out. I believe that was directed to video. I remember seeing it on Cinemax. That was great. That was very exciting. Along with the first one, was very exciting. Like a horror action comedy. And then seemed like they weren't that close together. But I mean, I guess they weren't that far apart. But I guess they were. 2001 Tremors 3 came out. And I remember going to Springboro to the video rental place, which is no longer there because I heard they had like the Trace of the Death 2 and 4. Because I did have 3. 2 and 4, getting 2 and 4. And did they have 5? No, they just had 2 and 4. And watching them. And they had Tremors 3 there. I remember renting on VHS and enjoying that very much. On Tremors 2, they had another monster called the Shrieker. And Tremors 3, they had ass blasts, were a little more funnier. And those movies, all 3 of those were awesome. And that was made in 2001. Apparently, and then 2004, Tremors 4 came out. The Legacy Begins. And it was like a Western type going back to the heyday of that. They had a real cool steam-powered thing. Can't remember what it was. Steam-powered something. And it was all right. It wasn't as good as the first 3. The first 3 are the best ones. And I know both my dad and I liked that steam-powered, but it was good. It was entertaining for what it was, but not as good as the first 3. The first 3 were very good and very exciting. Now, that was made in 2004. Now, 11 years later, they have a brand new one. Tremors 5 Bloodline. And this one starts out real strong in the first 2-3 minutes where Apparently he's on, Michael Gross is on a survivalist reality show. He's the star of it. And he does a really good catch-up about all the, well, you know how they have, like, the backstory. And sometimes, if movies are really good, they'll explain the whole thing in very entertaining detail within 3-4 minutes, like they did at the beginning of the remake of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And he did that, and that was great. And then the movie hits a fatal flaw. Jamie Kennedy's in it. I don't dislike Jamie Kennedy that much, but he has no no reason to be in an action movie of any kind. Because these are horror action comedies, and he's not funny. They might as well just had Jar Jar Binks be in it. He says some of the lamest, worst run-liners, and he's so annoying. And he's like this trick rider on a motorcycle. You know that's obviously a stuntman. And they show like he doesn't even look like Jamie Kennedy when they show he ruins the movie before it even starts, and he's in the movie a lot. I mean, like I said. They have the survivalist thing, and then they have some stuff in Africa. And then they go and he films stuff, and then Jamie Kennedy comes up and he talks to the other cameraman, and he said that he's the new cameraman, and the other cameraman leaves. Jamie Kennedy's pretty much in the rest of the movie, and he's awful. That's the biggest reason, my biggest complaint of the movie. And apparently they get called to Africa because they have some sightings of these monsters. And Michael Gross said that I thought it was contained to the U.S., a certain part of the U.S., but nope, they're in Africa. And they go to Africa, and there's not that many monsters, not what you'd expect, you know, compared to the other ones. And it's not as exciting, and you never feel like they're in any real danger, you know, and it's just kind of a waste. But, I mean, Jamie Kennedy killed it. If Jamie Kennedy wasn't in it, I'd probably like it a lot better than what he did. I know it got 5 stars from the viewers on Netflix, but I think it's the weakest of the first 3 are the best. Part 4 was decent. I liked the way it went. It wasn't the strongest of the Tremors movie, and this one definitely isn't the strongest one. And just Jamie Kennedy really ruins it. And there's lots of things where they're in like a situation and he says, well, I have an idea. It's like, well, no shit, I thought of that thing too. You know, none of the epiphanies are that great. Something neat happens with the monsters. There's a different twist with the monsters, but they don't expand upon that much, and they don't make it that interesting. It's a real shame. This could have been a great, great movie, but Jamie Kennedy's in it, he ruins it. And then they have like, during the ending credits, they interrupt it a little bit, showing something else. And it's probably sad to say that if they had any more Tremors movies, it's going to be Michael Gross and Jamie Kennedy. I mean, I like Jamie Kennedy in the Scream movies, even though I'm not a big fan of the Scream movies. But he doesn't belong in any type of action. This was terrible. He was terrible. The movie itself was okay. I'd probably give it 6.5 out of 10. If I almost said Jamie Foxx. If Jamie Kennedy wasn't in it, it'd be a lot better. So. That just premiered on Netflix. Now, the other movie is Bride of Chucky. Now, like I said, the thing with the original is somewhat, my story with the original and the whole history of it, at least the original, is similar to Tremors. Well, I remember reading about, it was Child's Play back then. I remember reading about that in Fangoria magazine. I said, this movie's going to be stupid. Because about Killer Doll, I was like, oh my God. And then when I saw that poster for it, said Child's Play, had Chucky with a knife, and then it said 3 stars, and it said Chucky's one mean SOB. And I had to work. And all my friends went to see it, and they said, man, you got to see this movie. It's awesome. It said he's one mean SOB. It said, yeah, he is. He's an asshole. And I never got to see it until I got home out of the Army, and I remember renting it on VHS. I think my dad thought it was stupid, but I really enjoyed it. And it was weird because that was on a different film company. That was the original Child's Play through MGM, and then I guess Universal bought the rights to it. And I remember going to Fort Bragg, and in January or February, Child's Play 2 came out. Like I said, it's a second-run theater, and I really liked Child's Play 2. I thought it had a really creepy, scary tone to it. I really enjoyed it. And And then I went to Fort Detrick, Maryland. And like I said, in Fort Bragg, that's the second run theater, Child's Play 3 came out. And I saw that at the theater when it came out. And I really liked it. I thought I even told my friend Ray Brooks that I think they made the series run out of things to say, but it was a very entertaining movie. And like the critics said, he had some great lines. I remember he said, "Don't fuck with the Chuck." That was a great line. And then, so I figured that was the end of the series. And then in, like 98 or something like that, Bride of Chucky came out, and it turned it more into a horror comedy. Bride of Chucky was awesome. I saw it at the theater. Then Seed of Chucky came out. I didn't see that right away. I think I ended up buying it on DVD, but much later. And actually, Leonard Maltin liked Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky. I thought Seed of Chucky was good. It dragged a little bit, but I thought it was very entertaining. And then, apparently, the first direct-to-video Child's Play movie came called Curse of Chucky a couple years back. And then, like I said, it premiered on Netflix finally about a week ago. I saw it last week. Basically, it takes place in this one house. This woman's disabled. She gets sent this package of this doll, and her mom gets killed. And then the relatives come over, and they want to sell the house and put her in a nursing home or something like that so she can get taken care of. She don't want to do it, and the doll's still there. They have a little girl of dolls there, and whole bunch of stuff happens. I thought it was all going to take place like what they do in Full Moon, like in one house, or like the old horror films, even though they spend much more money on this than any crappy Full Moon movie. And it was good to an extent. There's a really horrible scene where this blonde girl is really nice looking. She gets electrocuted, and there's like a outlet in the floor, and he pours water. And the look of Chucky looked terrible. And the electrocution looked awful. It was the worst. That really hurt the movie. It was okay. It didn't start really picking up till like the last half hour, and then it got back into the storyline that we're more familiar with, which I liked. I thought it was okay for what it was. I'd probably give it I don't know if I did review this. About the same, maybe a 7 out of 10. At least Jamie Kennedy wasn't in it. Oh, well, there you have it for my reviews of Tremors 5 Bloodline. Brand new. I wish it could have been better. And Curse of Chucky. Wish that could have been better too. But like the last half hour, things finally start to come to life. The first 10 minutes is good, and the last half hour is really good. And I like the house. I think that was a good setting for a movie. And they did spend money. They spent money on Tremors 5, but I mean, I just wish they could have focused on something. Or get rid of Jamie Kennedy. And make the movie a little bit better. You never felt like they were in any danger. They didn't show enough monsters in it. And it was okay. I mean, people are bitching about Anacondas 2, Search for the Blood Orchid, but I kind of liked it better than Tremors 5 because no Jamie Kennedy. It reminded me of that movie, The River. I mean, that TV show, The River, that was on for a little while. Well, anyways, there you have it, my reviews of Tremors 5 Bloodline, a very long-winded review in history of the Tremors movies, and my review of Curse of Chucky, my very long and winded history of the Child's Play movies. So until next time, everybody, please take care, my legion. And also with Chucky, because I had a subscription to Fangoria back in 92 when I got out of the Army, and they had a movie out. I figured that Chucky was pretty much, the Child's Play movie was pretty much over with Child's Play 3. I did like Child's Play 3. There was a movie called Dolly Dearest that came out. I remember seeing it on HBO, on Fangoria Magazine. I thought this movie's going to be stupid. I remember seeing it either on Cinemax or HBO, and I thought it was okay. I'd have to see it again because I don't remember it that much. I feel they just doing a female Chucky thing. It could have been better, but oh well. I don't remember it that much. So until next time, everybody, as always, take care, my legion. Hope you like this very long-winded review of both movies. All right, take care, everybody. Okay.